You know, I'm always searching for new and interesting mobile games that are actually worth playing. And today I've picked 15 offline games that I think you'll really enjoy. Instead of showing the popular titles that everyone already knows, we're going to explore some underrated and new games that might surprise you. So, let's not wait any longer and start the video. Number 15. Indian Car Truck Bus Simulator is a brand new open-world driving game, and the first thing that grabbed my attention was the graphics. The vehicles are modeled really well, and driving them around actually feels nice. You can switch between different vehicle types, and each one has its own vibe. The downside is the open world itself. It looks good, but it feels empty and lacking activities. Still, the core foundation is solid. With some updates adding missions, traffic, or events, this could become a great open-world driving game. Number 14.
Objectives. Get it done, miner.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivors is finally here, and as someone who already spent over 20 hours on the PC version, I can confidently say this mobile release is just as addictive. If you love the Deep Rock Galactic universe, you're going to feel right at home. Every run feels different, and the amount of builds and combinations you can create keeps the game fresh for hours. The only thing that bothers me a bit is the price on mobile. Don't get me wrong, it's a very high-quality game, but I still wish there was a cheaper version or regional pricing. Luckily, there's a free demo, so you can test it before buying. If you enjoy Survivor-style games, it's absolutely worth playing. Number 13. I wasn't expecting much when I first opened Dig It Up, but somehow this simple idea of digging and collecting materials pulled me in. You start with basic tools, and as you uncover resources, you sell them to improve your gear and stats. The loop is basic, but it's strangely satisfying. The maps are small but varied, and the graphics have this low-key charm that makes grinding feel cozy rather than tedious. It's definitely a grind-heavy game, but at the same time, it's calming. If you enjoy these dig and upgrade games, this one hits the right notes. Number 12. Pirate Sea Treasure Hunt is an open-world pirate adventure where you sail across a big map, search for treasure, and fight enemies along the way. Since the game is made with Unreal Engine, the graphics look really nice. The water, islands, and ships all have a nice level of detail, and exploring the open seas actually feels pretty cool. But even with all that potential, the game needs more polishing. The UI looks rough and feels out of place, and the game does not guide you with clear missions or quests yet. Still, if you like pirate games and want something new to try, it is worth downloading. Number 11. I'm usually not a fan of 2D side-scroller games, but INMOST genuinely surprised me. The pixel art is beautiful, and the animations feel incredibly smooth and natural. The game follows 3 different characters, a young girl, a knight, and a man trying to understand his past, and each storyline connects in a really clever way. It's a narrative-driven puzzle platformer, but the emotional weight and the overall presentation make it stand out. Even if you don't normally play games like this, INMOST is absolutely worth trying. I fully recommend it. Number 10. Bloodbox 2 is a really fun sandbox game that gives you a ton of freedom to do whatever you want. I ended up spending hours just experimenting with different setups, messing around with physics, and seeing how far I could push the game's systems. It's the kind of game where every few minutes you think, let me try one more thing, and suddenly an hour has passed. It's simple on the surface, but gives you enough tools to create your own fun. It's definitely worth checking out. Number 9. Fire Engine Simulator is an open-world firefighter game where you jump into emergency missions, drive around the city, and upgrade your vehicles as you progress. I actually enjoyed the variety. Rescue calls, fires, and different tasks keep things from getting too repetitive, and the big open world gives you plenty of space to explore. The downside is the graphics and controls, which definitely feel a bit outdated compared to newer mobile simulators. Still, if you're someone who enjoys realistic mission-based games, it's worth giving a try. Number 8. Outbreak Dead City is a low-poly FPS that actually surprised me with how cinematic the storytelling feels. You don't see this level of presentation often on mobile, and even with the simple art style, the world design and atmosphere pull you in pretty quickly. My only real complaint is the shooting. It's a bit clunky, and the animations feel pretty basic. But if you enjoy survival games or anything with zombies and a strong atmosphere, I think it is a great game to play. Number 7. Coach Bus Simulator is exactly what the name promises, a full open-world bus driving experience with a focus on realism. You follow traffic rules, manage passengers, and try to keep everything running smoothly while traveling through different locations. There are plenty of routes, buses, and areas to explore. The only downside for me is how long it takes to unlock new vehicles, and the graphics do feel a bit outdated compared to newer simulators, but overall, it's still a solid pick for bus sim fans. Number 6. 12 Minutes is a really unique experience on mobile. It's a real-time, top-down, interactive thriller where you're stuck in a 12-minute time loop, reliving the same moment over and over until you figure out what's happening. I really liked how the story unfolds and how curious it makes you to find out what's really going on. The only downside is that the game is pretty short. It only takes a few hours to finish, but those hours are packed with suspense and clever storytelling. So if you enjoy narrative-driven games that make you think and experiment, 12 Minutes is definitely worth checking out. Number 5. FGB Operators really caught my eye because of the graphics. Once I started playing, I got hooked. The game offers a lot of missions, each with different objectives. There's also a wide variety of guns and equipment to experiment with. The controls are responsive, and the shooting mechanics feel solid, making firefights satisfying. But the game just supports Russian language, so understanding some of the menus and instructions can be tricky. Still, once you get the hang of it, it's playable and doesn't feel restrictive. I think it is a decent offline FPS game on mobile. Number 4. Nine Nights instantly reminded me of classic Prince of Persia games, and I was drawn in by the combination of fluid combat and parkour mechanics. The graphics are nice, and the environments are varied enough to keep exploration interesting. I found myself genuinely enjoying the mix of platforming and action RPG elements. The combat system is solid, with responsive controls and a good variety of attacks. You can experiment with different combos, dodges, and aerial moves. That said, some boss encounters can be frustrating. Certain bosses spam attacks relentlessly, leaving almost no opening to strike back. Despite that, the game has a strong core. If you like action RPGs with parkour elements and smooth combat, Nine Nights is must-play. Number 3. The first time I launched Pools, I couldn't believe my eyes. The graphics are next level, almost like playing on a PC. What surprised me the most is the tension the game builds. Even simple moments of exploring or wandering through the world give you chills, and the subtle storytelling keeps you constantly questioning what's really happening. The only downside is that Pools is currently only available for iOS, which is a shame because it deserves a much wider audience. I really hope an Android version comes soon so more players can experience this chilling and visually stunning game. Number 2. I spent a couple hours just cruising around the city in underground racing, and honestly, it's one of those games where you don't even notice the time passing. I really like the graphics, and the game has a decent number of cars to unlock, from sports cars to heavier vehicles. Missions are scattered across the city, but the lack of a proper map makes it tricky to locate them. At first, early missions don't give a lot of rewards, so you'll often end up repeating the same tasks to get money for new cars. That grind can feel long, especially if you want the high-end vehicles quickly. Despite that, the core driving mechanics are solid, and the game offers enough variety and freedom to make it a decent open-world racing experience on mobile. Number 1. I jumped into Dune Barrens as soon as it dropped, and it reminded me why Wilderless has always been one of my favorite mobile games. The moment you step into the desert, you feel this sense of calm and curiosity. There's a lot of empty space, but it's never boring because the new biomes are full of little details and creatures that make exploring feel alive. I spent a solid hour just wandering, following my little companions and discovering hidden spots. The creatures are as charming as ever, reacting to the environment and making exploration feel personal. Yes, it's a bit on the pricey side, but for anyone who loves open-world exploration with relaxing pacing and beautiful visuals, this expansion delivers everything you'd hope for. It's immersive, soothing, and keeps you coming back for more.